That U.S. health alert over beef from an Alberta plant was expanded to 30 states today as the agriculture minister in this country continued to say that Canadian inspection practices are effective. But at the same time, the minister failed to explain why American inspectors caught the contamination first. Terry Malevsky has more from Ottawa tonight. Terry.
Well, Peter, there are troubling questions about this tainted meat, like why wasn't it detected until the Americans stopped it at the border? And why did it take the Canadians so long to respond?
Our food is safe. CFIA is on the job.
The minister was under fire for a third day about bad meat.
Contaminated meat has reached store shelves across this country.
In fact, there is just one case where it did reach the shelves, at this Costco store in Edmonton. 4 people ate bad steaks and got sick. And whether the problem's at the store or at the slaughterhouse, it's a failure.
The fact that we have an illness is definitely not an acceptable outcome, and that's something that we're very unhappy about.
Unhappier still because those steaks came from the huge XL slaughterhouse in Brooks, Alberta. That's the same plant which produced some ground beef that American officials had stopped nearly 2 weeks earlier at the border.
It's American inspectors that caught that contaminated meat, not Canadian inspectors, and that's a failure on this government's part.
The NDP blames government cuts in food inspections. The minister says there are no cuts.
There's 46 inspection staff in that facility. 20% more than there was 3 years ago, Mr. Speaker. That's some cut.
So why didn't they spot the E.Coli? The minister says they did, but not in the steaks, only in the ground beef.
We were able to contain all of that shipment. It was from the same shipment that went to the border.
But the steaks were not contained and were only recalled after people got sick.
Why did it take 12 days before a recall notice was put out by the Canadian government?
The answer to that never came. Instead, the government repeated there are lots of inspectors.
700 more inspectors are on the job now than when we formed government.
Which still leaves unexplained why the Americans were the first to spot a Canadian problem. And the American beef industry, of course, has seized its chance to say that Canadian imports are just not up to American standards, Peter.
All right, Terry, thanks very much.